Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the E-Rank Talks channel. Today I want to talk about what makes a game replayable and what doesn't. I would love to start with some basic questions, and that is, what is the difference between replay value and replayability? What does replayability mean? Replay value or replayability is the extent to which a player might want to play a game again after completing it once or more. What is a replayable game? Replay value is the potential of a video game or other media products for continued play value after its first completion. Factors that can influence perceived replay value include the game's extra characters, secrets, and alternate endings. But what is the most replayable game genre? Well, RPGs have become one of the most popular mainstream video game genres, with modern titles having excellent replay value. Even well into 2023, the RPG genre has cemented itself as one of the biggest mainstream video game genres, with many games of the modern era boasting immense replay value as well. How do you make a game replayable, you might ask? One way to make your game more replayable is to offer different content and context for each playthrough. Content refers to the assets, levels, characters, items, and events that populate your game world. Context refers to the situation, scenarios, modes, and goals that shape your game experience. I think when a person buys a game, they want it to be worth their money. But the game studios use repetitive mission design and assets to stretch out your playtime, convincing the player that their money is well spent. 100-hour games and 10-hour games have different levels of content and of course the cost, but they both have potentials to be equally good games. I personally think that including more variety in content is a lot better than more content of the same type. The Assassin's Creed RPG trilogy, which is Origins, Odyssey and Valhalla, comes to mind as these games offer a great amount of content but suffers from the same problem. At certain times, open world games do force some repetition to fill the open areas of their map. Not that is a bad thing, but this repetition can hurt the game but not completely ruin your experience. It was the same for a lot of my friends when I was recommending Witcher 3 to them. The shit ton of question marks on the map seemed way too similar and repetitive for them to stick around longer. For example, the Soulsborne series is known for its variety of enemies and memorable boss fights. Sure, you do get a great variety with this game with memorable boss fights, but to fill its open world, the game repeated its enemy designs, and genuinely I have no issue with this. However, repeating the boss's designs does remove the satisfaction and takes away the glory of defeating a boss, unlike the other games in Soulsborne series. Most games nowadays make you go from point A to point B. What makes any game fun is how you get from A to B. I do believe that how you get from point A to B should be different every time you play, as it not only adds more replayability, but also increases the value of the game. However, games don't always need to have or be different for every playthrough. They put you on the main path and fill your way with side content, which can be side quests, collectibles, extra modes, and the list goes on. I would definitely choose to replay a game that is more memorable to me or delivers a great first playthrough than a game that has forced replayability. Game studios should not completely focus on making a game with high replayability, but instead a memorable experience you could see yourself getting back into. And with the side activities, they make the game do not feel hollow or empty. But what if the whole game is a hollow experience? Well, we have a term for that, and it's called online multiplayer. Before you start hating me, online multiplayer games are not hollow experiences, but they can stutter on being too static. The studios rely on the fact that people will keep playing their games no matter what, so as long you have friends to play with, you can play these games forever. Very common thing nowadays is that the new released games die within the first year of their release because the developers just give up on the whole game. With massive games like League of Legends, CSGO or Team Fortress 2, the developers have a pressure to keep doing something with the game because the community is playing those games hours every day for nearly decades now. Then on the other hand, you have the games where without a friend you have no chance to even join a lobby. Multiplayer games are a double-edged sword because they have the potential to be the most but the least replayable games too. Games don't have to always be about the product itself.
Like 2 mines right by main entrance, so be careful. Like 1 here and 1 here.
There's 3. Oh my god.
Oh, there's a lot more than there's like 5!
Oh my. Oh.
But the friends you play with, and there is a couple of examples. Moving from the multiplayer, co-op is the perfect middle ground between playing with your friend and also enjoying the features of a story single player game. I find this type to be the most replayable because every time you launch the game, you have different ways to start and to finish it. Co-op games have a simple but exciting gameplay loop to keep players in, kill enemies with your friends, gather resources and explore with your friends, and basically do whatever you fuck you want with your friends. When the game knows when to just let you have your fun with friends without always shoving more things into your face, you know, the game is doing its job right. When it comes to remake and remaster, it can create a lot of differences in replay values. The changes can be none to minimum, and it's a gamble for the fans of the original title. On the other hand, the game can be very different and creates the effect on the player that it sacrifices the fun and memories the players had before. That's why remake and remaster games with just a new graphics or new engine have a better potential to be even better than the original title than the ones where they change the whole game completely. My favorite style of games are the ones which are not replayable. The first examples that came to my mind are Subnautica or Hollow Knight, for example. The game takes you through nearly everything it can to show you and lets you complete everything in one playthrough. It's mentally rewarding experience to finish it, and once you did, you know that the feeling cannot be replaced again. I had the same with The Witcher 3, which is my only exception. The first playthrough was the best one I had, even though I didn't finish everything I could. It is a special kind of joy this type of games give you, because you are figuring most on your own with a slide of guide leading you. I think every person has that one game in which you would love to just wipe your memories and play it for the first time again. And since we know it's unfortunately not possible, replay value is exactly a bridge to that thought, to make it possible. The familiar in the unknown lets you experience the fresh content before you get tired of the same things. A lot of games profit from the replay value, and a lot of games know when to stop and leave you to want more, and that is exactly the perfect game for you. When you finish the game and you just say to yourself, damn, I want to do that again. The last thing you want from the second playthrough is to feel too tedious. You want to have the feeling like you are diving headfirst into a familiar world rather than feeling the monotony. It's just a great option for people that want another nice time with some of their favorite games. I know that with this topic I barely scratched the surface because there is a lot more to talk about when it comes to replay value, but I do really hope that I opened up the meaning for some of you and that you'll be more cautious when choosing your favorite type of game to enjoy them to the fullest without, as mentioned before, feeling too tedious or feeling the monotony of doing the same thing over and over again. If you are a really die-hard online multiplayer player, I did not mean to disrespect you in any way. Let me know in the comments what your favorite type of game is. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to enjoy your games you play to the fullest. Bye bye!